have been having the time of my life.
Try to infuse some of that hot garbage smell into your poem.
What is garbage?
It will be one of the best experiences I will have in my entire life.
But Canada is a remix B-side chorus in the globalization loop.
C'était juste incroyable, je pense. On était toutes assis sur nos chaises, captivés.
Sincèrement, c'est pas du tout un organisme que je connaissais avant cette année et c'est une formidable découverte. I loved it.
Poetry and Voice is an incredible organization.
Poésie!
I can't use words to describe how grateful I am that Poetry and Voice exists.
Poetry and Voice is a national nonprofit that brings the joy of poetry to Canadian students.
Les Voix de la Poésie, c'est un grand rassemblement pour découvrir et explorer la poésie pour les jeunes.
It's all quite a blur. I took an airplane from Toronto. Crazy busy. So much incredible stuff.
Well, the real question is, what haven't we been doing this week?
On a réuni effectivement vers l'avenir avec la Grande Finale pour une première fois à Calgary.
I love FutureVerse!
FutureVerse is a poetry intensive. It's a 4-day poetry intensive for Canadian high school students, and it's a blast.
De la poésie, c'est vraiment une belle opportunité pour les poètes, les jeunes poètes, mais aussi ceux qui souhaitent réciter.
Writing poetry, reciting poetry.
Je me rappelle de la Grande Finale.
National Finals is this amazing recitation contest where we have the top students in Canada come up and recite poems by heart.
I've been fully immersed in poetry this entire week.
Plein d'auteurs inspirants.
Doing a bunch of poetry workshops.
Workshops.
So many, it's insane.
So for workshops, we have an extremely packed schedule.
So FutureVersers and national finalists did a whole bunch of workshops together. So a lot of the activities were melded, just like our English, French cohorts were all melded together.
I have multiple favorites. I feel like I really like the very first one, the bad poetry workshop.
Now this poem needs to be as horrible in as many different ways as you can think of.
Alors, vous aurez 10 minutes pour écrire votre poème nul.
I'm going to use the word notorious multiple times. It's going to be so annoying. But what is garbage? What is garbage?
What is garbage? You can do it! Sophie, comment ça va?
Je sais pas.
Non? OK. Essaye de faire un acrostique qui ne marche pas. C'est terrible. Très bien.
C'est une mission depuis le début pour les Voix de la Poésie, Poetry and Voice, de mettre de l'avant les 2 langues officielles.
Time is up, c'est fini?
J'aime les fleurs. Justin Bieber aime aussi les fleurs.
And just to top it off, it's all in Google Translate.
Oh, brilliant!
My friend asked me if I was okay. I responded with IDK. Today was today.
Nice! Yeah, excellent poor use of end rhymes and also the just kind of lack of stake in anything. Yeah, although I did kind of like the IDK. Sorry. We're looking for students across Canada, different socioeconomic statuses. We're looking at different ethnicities, religions, abilities, disabilities. Just we wanted a great sample of students from across Canada. The metronome poem. So a lot of you guys did this where you get the idea that the rhythm is like da 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 da. So unless you're writing in a specific form where you have to have a certain rhythm, what you don't want is you don't want your reader to be able to predict the next line. There are 7 deadly sins in poetry. Ye oldie poem, and it's when you try to write in old-timey language. The best language to write in is your own language. So by looking specifically at the things that we don't want to see in poetry, we can then start thinking about what we do want to see in poetry.
La grande majorité de nos activités ont eu lieu à la Grande Bibliothèque de Calgary.
I really enjoyed the first workshop we did with Wakefield Brewster. It was so engaging and so powerful, and I took so much away from that.
He did a workshop on equality, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Inclusivity, and I want someone's definition.
4 different markers, 4 different colors, you use them all.
Give me another one, and I want another definition like that. Today, I was helping students write their way into the world. The way I'm helping them write their way into the world is with 6 words: justice, equity, equality, diversity, inclusivity, accessibility, and intersectionality. Now, let's talk about what accessibility is. I think we can lead changes because humans often lead with language.
And when Wakefield talked about bringing in your different characters, different sides of you, different social justice topics that are important to you into your work to create change, I feel like he was talking like right to me.
I'm looking to move one person with one thing, one time. Please understand that language evolves, and you may lead its evolution, especially inside of your own personal lexicon. So please have fun, first of all, with language, and always look to be learning from something that is always changing, just like you.
Qu'est-ce que je fais pour garder cette chaîne? Qu'est-ce que je fais? Qu'est-ce que ma poésie ajoute? Qu'est-ce que ma poésie casse?
Donc, les 2 premiers ateliers d'écriture étaient centrés sur la poésie comme vecteur de changement.
Comment la poésie peut être un agent de transformation sociale? Comment on peut devenir plus grand, plus beau, plus généreux grâce à la poésie? Dites-nous quel poète, qu'est-ce que...
C'est José Yvon.
Ah!
Oui.
La Révolution.
Je suis tombée à peu près au hasard.
Et j'aime beaucoup quelqu'un qui lisait un poème de José Yvon et qui voit que depuis plus de 40 ans, ça a commencé. Il y a beaucoup de choses qui commençaient à bouger.
Pour toutes les Liz opératrices aux belles, pour toutes les Diane assassinées chez Simpson Sears, les Jane Mansfield violées à la sortie de l'école, tellement diluées de partout, étouffées sous la bêtise grossière des maris qui, je l'espère, s'écraseront sur un poteau.
Il faut qu'on se mette à lire, il faut qu'on se mette à l'écoute. Donc il faut qu'on se dise qu'est-ce qui nous a précédés. Parce qu'on a des jeunes qui commencent à écrire, qui ont l'impression d'arriver à ce qui commence. C'est vrai, mais ce qui commence a commencé bien longtemps avant nous.
Puis je me dis, waouh, s'ils ont écrit ça en 10 minutes, qu'est-ce qu'ils nous réservent pour la suite?
Richard Harrison. I was with Richard Harrison. It was so cool.
The Richard Harrison workshop was also really great as well.
You know, my topic was about poetry changing the world. Through the jaws of death, from the mouth of hell. When can their glory fade? All the world wondered. Noble 600. Then we looked at Charge of the Light Brigade. So what do you feel when you hear all that?
Like a feeling of duty somehow. Like it's inevitable, so you just have to deal with how it is and make the best of it.
It turned what was like a tragedy into something bittersweet, like a mix of triumph and loss.
The British public was outraged. The press was all over what a disaster the army was. And Tennyson reframed it. Poetry has the ability to reframe how we see things.
It reframed the way that people thought about that particular historical event and how we can use poetry to reframe the way we think about things that are happening today.
Win or lose, we did what we had to do. And that tradition of heroism has been in place ever since.
And this line, plunged in the battery smoke, remind me of the one that wrote Dulce Decorum like
Wilfred
that.
Owen.
Yeah, Wilfred Owen. Like
Owen was from the battlefield. He said, it's a little different. So he becomes the war protesting poet.
Yeah.
Right? Which mirrored Tennyson's blasts of smoke from the cannon in the Charge of the Light Brigade with the blasts of gas bombs on the fields of France in World War I in Owen's poem. So it was it was this fabulous reading of not just the relationship between poems and events, but poems and each other. They were great.
Il y avait un atelier avec Clémence Dumas-Côté.
Je les ai amenés à écrire, à discuter, à parler de eux, ce qu'ils aimeraient voir s'opérer comme changement dans le monde.
En tant que société, on réévalue un peu notre rapport à la performance scolaire.
Un des éléments avec lesquels j'aime commencer quand j'anime des ateliers, c'est aussi de se rappeler dans un espace de non-performance. Et je leur ai demandé de créer des petites installations, des petites sculptures comme celle-ci, qui évoquent le changement dans le monde.
C'était assez cocasse, mais super efficace.
Je vais faire une sculpture avec ces 3 mots-là. Puis mon idée, c'est de dessiner une bouche pour le débat et d'utiliser bâton pour comme vraiment ouvrir la bouche pour démontrer l'ouverture. Puis je vais relier tout ça avec un cerveau un peu pour l'esprit critique.
Quand on prend un petit cube entre nos doigts, plein de mots peuvent émaner.
Pluton m'a fait penser à Platon. Platon m'a fait penser à l'allégorie de la caverne aux idées, qui est donc, pour ceux qui connaissent pas, l'idée que, en fait, ce qu'on voit, nous, autour de nous, c'est juste l'ombre de concepts absolus qui existent dans une genre de dimension parallèle.
La poésie peut changer le monde. J'en ai la preuve avec ces élèves que je viens de rencontrer, qui viennent de partout au Canada. Ils ont le cœur ouvert. Ils ont envie de se mettre de l'avant, de mettre de l'avant leur sensibilité, leur vulnérabilité au service de la communauté. C'est tellement beau.
Sophie Gareau-Brennan was the host of our translation workshop. In translation, les langues that play ensemble.
Je me rappelle jouer avec la traduction.
If you're translating your own work, you're going to have a different perspective than if you're translating somebody else's work. Y a-t-il d'autres personnes qui veulent partager?
The attempt to keep culture, to walk with people from a moved truth.
Expiration brute, ma langue est regard. Ma langue est dédiée à ces coins de désespoir. Non, ma langue est l'horizon.
We have a variety of students who speak only English, only French, a bit of both. So it was really fun to just play with language and to just try to speak as much as you could of whatever language you could.
C'était super cool d'avoir été bilingue puisque je peux communiquer avec tout le monde super bien.
So at the beginning, the phrase was sunny skies and rocky mountains, and then we got to the drawing, and then the end, we came up with, or Maria came up with, in a house of trees exists a dead bird.
Wow!
This is Japanese.
What's this one?
This one I'm not sure. This one's Nuktito.
Nice. All right. What does it say?
This one's like EPTK, like our Nuktito ABCs, and then this one says I love you, Mom.
Creole. I think of my grandmother and the language created by slaves, by a few islands, and when I speak it I find an escape in the Caribbean, a bouillon bursting with flavor, and the open sea that brought me there.
It's so cool seeing how much like family plays into all of these, right? So we're talking about really personal things. Language is personal.
Maintenant, on s'en va marcher jusqu'au Silver Dragon. On va manger très bien.
Bertrand teaches full-time at Olds College, and he's incredibly busy.
I just drove from there just now.
Yes.
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 Yeah, it's an hour drive. Oh, thank you. I can drive. Thank you.
So Bertrand Bickersteth is an amazing poet from Calgary.
It's a brilliant book, and in his book he talks about the very river that we're about to walk along. So please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Bertrand.
I just got a, what those things called? Fortune cookie. I just got a fortune cookie that said, you see beauty in ordinary things. That is the definition of a poet. Damn. Find the place in which you can find that beauty for yourself. And you will, because you're artists, right? We're all beautiful people. We're beautiful artists today.
So we had Bertrand take us along the Bow River and give us the history and context of the Bow River.
We've explored the local river and walked around the city and allowed it to inspire our poetry and our prose.
Je me rappelle toutes les marches qu'on a faites dans Calgary pour voir la ville, pour s'inspirer.
On va faire quelques exercices. C'est normal que chaque exercice ne fonctionne pas parfaitement pour tout le monde, mais l'espoir, c'est que certaines parties de certains des exercices qu'on va faire au long de ce trajet va marcher. Alors faites de votre mieux. Il n'y a pas de stress.
So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think about, since we're next to rivers, ways in which you yourself may be like a river and not like a river. I am not falling.
Je ne suis pas en train de tomber.
This idea of the river as like always falling. How are you like a river? How are you not like a river? And I wrote some poetry from that I really loved.
Poésie,
but loud. Okay. Passion. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Poésie! Vous allez le fort de Calgary. Ici, on a la rivière Bow. Là-bas, ce serait la rivière Elbow.
Made it a very, very practical place for them to establish themselves as a way of guarding their territory and also of establishing the trade routes that they wanted to along the Elbow and along the Bow. When we get closer, I'm going to have us think a little bit about those indigenous peoples who they were pushing aside in order to establish their presence here.
On va reconnaître l'histoire et on va se rappeler des noms autochtones de cet endroit.
Mokinstis for the Blackfoot.
Wichispa pour les Stoney-Nakoda.
Wutstitsi to the Tsuut'ina.
Et Gutisi pour les Tsuut'ina.
And in keeping with how poetry helps us to voice those things that are often unvoiced or unspoken, I would like you to acknowledge the things in you that are suppressed or replaced or changed or renamed or hidden. You have a question? I'm in the middle of my passionate speech here about the things that are suppressed. And
I don't want to forget it. What's the word you use to like?
Confluence.
Thank you.
Confluence, yeah. Where was I? Okay, get back to that mood that I had going on, okay? Remember?
Alors que les Européens considèrent souvent les rivières comme étant un défi à relever, Bertrand préfère la vision du monde des peuples autochtones de la région qui est celle de la relation.
In our beauty as artists, that's you I'm talking about, yes? We should show care, respect, and love for the land just as we should for our craft as writers.
Les rivières tombent toujours, elles sont constamment en train de tomber, mais elles tombent constamment amoureuses.
The river is always falling, and poetry is like that because it's a process of falling in love, just like water is always falling.
Okay, let's get warm and pee and all that stuff. Let's go, okay? This is too much.
La deuxième journée d'atelier a commencé en force avec une activité toujours favorite des élèves qui est la chasse au trésor poétique.
Oh my gosh, that was so fun.
So you are going to be split into 4 groups for the scavenger hunt.
En fait, on a installé donc des stations poétiques, on pourrait dire, à travers la ville de Calgary, donc à des endroits stratégiques où il y a une présence artistique. Dans une librairie indépendante. Donc on avait 2 poètes qui étaient là, Evelyn Gagnon et Tyler Perry, qui en fait donnaient des indices aux élèves pour qu'ils puissent trouver certains livres spécifiques dans les rayons.
So there was an activity under the bridge, and it was called echo poetry.
Consists of 4 couplets, 8 lines.
L'écho se répercute sous le pont, donc ça crée un effet vraiment intéressant.
Desire, when I ache like a youth spell. In the night, the river says, open your mouth.
So when they went to the container park, there was all of this incredible art there. And their challenge there was to write an exquisite corpse poem where you do line by line, folding it over, based in part on the inspiration from the art that they saw there.
Réussi tous les défis, qui a participé dans la prise de photos, sur les réseaux sociaux, etc.
Mercredi après-midi, on a fait un atelier sur les poèmes découpés.
I'm very passionate about cut-up writing and just the cathartic process that it can reveal.
Kaitlyn Purcell is from Smith's Landing First Nation, and what Kaitlyn requested was that the students bring in texts that had meaning for them. So it could be their own poetry, it could be a textbook or a book that had a lot of meaning for them.
You can add your poetry into the paper pulp.
We also have Tamara, Cardinal, who is of mixed descent. She's Nahiya and Deutsch descent.
À partir de rien et des pulpes, littéralement, et de l'eau, on s'est sali les mains en ajoutant des fleurs, exprimant de créativité. C'est ça, on pouvait exploiter une nouvelle façon d'écrire, utiliser des mots qu'on n'aurait peut-être pas pensé d'agencer ensemble.
Oui, on a eu une idée un peu folle de faire un party pyjama.
The Pyjama Party was so much fun.
Ce matin, l'éternité échoue au seuil de la porte.
Some of the most celebrated poets in Canada read us their work while we munched on candy.
J'ai entendu plein de nos invités, plein des gens qui sont notre formidable équipe, plein des participants de Vers l'avenir ou de la grande finale.
Learning the complicated language of forgiveness, the intricate lessons of the universe, and your heart is just a muscle.
This freedom passing us, toiling, waiting, and watching.
J'ai entendu Liana lire The Snail Poem, qui parlait du fait d'être trans.
How many of us are snails on the sidewalk in the dark?
Et j'ai presque pleuré.
Some of our students related to that poem so much. They got up and gave Liana this huge hug, and I think there were some tears shed too, and it was a really beautiful moment.
How many loved your moments of glad grace and loved your beauty with a love false or true?
This is Scott Griffin. He's here with Christine Griffin, and they are the founders of Poetry and Voice.
Donc, on avait un atelier de lecture à haute voix de poésie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, now you gotta come through with more than that. As we move through this commuter cosmos in this land mammal space shuttle that can slow down time.
He's such an incredible public speaker.
One of the most common things that beginning writers do is they read their work too quickly.
When you get up here to the mic, I want you to perform that poem at a speed that you believe is slower than natural because you're going to be naturally speeding.
Détachez toutes les syllabes.
Articulation is important because you need to be able to honor your own work.
Tandis que les vents, les vagues, les tirent.
Ouvre ta bouche, n'aie pas peur.
Entre sel et mer, entre arbre et sève.
I miss my hometown. I miss you. You didn't need a hat to do magic with my heart. Bass drums beat a steady rhythm that I feel in my teeth. Ta-da!
Yeah! Does anyone have anything they'd like to make as an observation? Yes, please.
The pauses sometimes in the parts that were like a little bit funny allowed us to have that moment to be with you and to find it a little bit funny.
Des jeunes ont été employés tout de suite après leur lecture devant public de leur propre poésie, puis c'était vraiment beau à voir.
We did a lot of readings yesterday, and it was just really great to hear everyone's recitations and everyone's poetry as well.
Ta-da!
Beautiful space in the library, so they had like a fairly large audience, and for a lot of them it was their first time reading their own work aloud.
Et diminuerai ta vie jusqu'à ce que ce ne soit plus un meurtre.
Habité par la prière, racine de nos cordes vocales.
J'ai appris beaucoup sur l'édition.
Où est-ce qu'ils publient les poètes que j'aime?
One on publishing.
We wanted to give students an idea of what actually goes behind the publishing process, everywhere from literary journals in Canada to when you have your first manuscript and it's ready for publication.
Our main funding comes from Canada Council because, you know, we don't make money from selling poetry books either.
We are going to work together so that you all have a cover letter. And I know we said as editors we don't read the cover letters, but also if there's no cover letter, then I'm like, I'm not taking this person seriously.
Personally, talking to the poets, getting to know what a life in the art is like.
I really loved the Eco-Poetics workshop with Rita Wong. She's a poet I really admire, and I've read some of her work on the Poetry and Voice website. I just loved kind of the style of her work.
Third, I wanted to introduce you to the term Umwelt, which is a German word. And Umwelt is basically your experience of the world from the body that you have. So, like, the experience of the earth or the world is very different for like a blue whale in the water, right, than a bee that's flying in the air.
C'est simplement de lier la force de la poésie aux enjeux écologiques. L'ambivalence et le respect, que nos sociétés renaissent comme des bassins versants.
The show was wild.
On était tous assis sur nos chaises, captivés.
Nerve-wracking at first, of course, with the super professional setup and a really big audience.
Good evening, everyone. Bonsoir tout le monde. Je m'appelle Liana Kuzmano, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the 2023 Poetry and Voice National Finals.
In choosing poems, I think I really wanted to choose poems that I really connected with.
Aaron Saul Negra, All Saints High School, Calgary, Alberta.
But Canada is a remix B-side chorus in the globalization loop.
I think with Wade Compton's poetry, I think it's just like so provocative and it really says something.
And when you want to draw the line or put your foot down or formulate, enough is enough is enough is enough! What color is enough?
Like I was tearing up, like I just felt what he was feeling when he was reciting it.
Ma mère me jungle. La maison fait le mambo avec ma maman.
It was just amazing seeing Hope go up there, and she absolutely killed it.
If I snake, if I coconut, if I'm crazy, if I'm cuckoo, if I'm weary, if I resist.
4 et 4, 8. 8 et 8 font 16. Et 16 et 16, qu'est-ce qu'ils font?
C'est une expérience qu'ils vont se rappeler toute leur vie, et même nous aussi.
Pendant que la neige lourde tombait dehors, j'ai réfléchi pour rien.
I did How to Triumph Like a Girl by Ada Limon. That somewhere inside the delicate skin of my body, there pumps an 8-pound female horse heart.
Her imagining she had the heart of a horse inside of her body, I thought the presentation of that poem was so powerful.
Philippe's I Am the People, the Mob, he delivered so well.
I am the working man, the inventor, the maker of the world's food and clothes. I wanted a poem that I really liked, so when I like a poem, it's easier for me to memorize it.
C'était Paper People. Paper People. That was a really good one.
Because I believe in people. People like my grandparents, who every single day since I was born have taken time out of their morning to pray for me. That's 7,892 days straight of someone checking, I'm okay.
Et le Grand Prix de récitation de la section française est décerné à Hope Anaki de l'école Alexandre Taché.
Quand on annonçait les gagnants, je pense que ça va rester gravé dans ma mémoire parce que c'était vraiment un rêve qui devenait réalité.
Round of applause for these students and for their teachers. Keeping poetry in the air from coast to coast to coast.
But honestly, it was pretty life-changing.
I've got gray mud hair.
Don't you dare call me Eskimo. We don't use that word anymore. I'm not doing anything wrong by eating raw meat or wearing sealskin clothes. I'm not doing anything wrong. And if I am, it's not surviving and providing.
Et évidemment, cette soirée qu'on est en train de vivre au moment où je parle et qui est formidable et où on danse et où on raconte des poèmes et c'est pas vrai que la poésie c'est pour les vieux.
Poetry touches you and it makes you think and it starts conversations that need to be started.
Poetry has made me look at things in such a colorful way, such a vibrant way, has made me look at myself in a way that I again can learn how to accept, learn how to love, learn how to be kind to, and then share that with others.
I think that this is truly a life-changing experience and everyone should do it. Woo! Yay!